Welcome back as we continue on this week's edition of Making Waves, heading into the final weekend of basketball for 2026. Two huge games coming up for the women's basketball team after another big weekend last weekend at the Goodman Center to round out the home season. Joined now by Roosevelt University women's basketball coach Deon Thomas. And Coach, thank you again for joining us. And looking back really quickly, first of all, before we look ahead, and a couple of games last weekend to close out the home season. Tough loss against Wayne State, but a real bounce-back victory then last Saturday afternoon over Purdue Northwest.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Yeah, the Wayne State game was tough because I thought we defended well, but they just hit shots. They shot 50% from the floor, 50% from three, and 93% from the free throw line. So they didn't miss many shots. I mean, we forced turnovers. They were contested shots. They weren't just wide open and rhythm shots. I thought we played really well. And we shot the ball well, too. We scored 70-something, so it was just a high-scoring game. And they went on a run that we couldn't overcome from. Like, we were trading baskets. But like you said, we had a great bounce-back win against Purdue Northwest. It was a great team effort. Had 22 assists. Everyone got a chance to score. Thought our defense was stifling, especially in the second half. So it was just a fun weekend.
Going back to the first game, you mentioned about something with regard to the shooting percentage for Wayne State. Do you ever have a feeling as a coach sometimes on the sideline when the opposing team is just throwing everything in and you're thinking, how can we overcome this? What do we have to do to try to make some headway?
Yeah, you try. Like, they just couldn't miss. And there's a play that's vivid in my mind still where Gabby, number 15, had the ball in the wing with like 7 seconds to go before the halftime, and she jab step. And BK just jumped back in a little bit. She was there. It was great defense. Then she shoots a three in her face still. And our coaches are yelling like, you got to do better. I was like, that was a professional move. So when they have a bunch of seniors playing like they're seniors, like it's hard to beat. So we tried different adjustments. Like we went zone a little bit. We tried to press. We tried to like run and jump. But again, their ball movement was great. I even told their coach at the end of the game, like, you guys moved the ball. You shared the ball. She wasn't pleased with the amount of points she gave up against us. But like I said, we hit shots too. It wasn't like it was a good game. But again, they came over top. Hats off to them. I think Wayne State's probably the hottest team in the league right now.
Looking back then at the second game of the weekend, the win over Purdue Northwest, pretty good margin there, 87-61. What do you think was the key to that game? What did you feel was the one thing that may have been the key factor to getting the win?
We played Purdue Northwest my first year here, and they got us. So since then, I keep hanging that over the girls' head. Like, they're our rival, even if it's not an official rivalry. So we got to show up and we got to compete because they beat us. They beat us pretty good that time. So since then, they're always fired up to play them. It's probably our closest game we get besides Parkside. So they get fired up for those self-proclaimed rivalries. I don't know if Parkside or Purdue Northwest feels the same way, but so no, the girls are just always excited to play them because they're so close. You see a lot of the same kids from AAU, from the same area. They got some Illinois kids on the roster. Some of the JUCO kids played together. So it's always fun just to compete against them.
It's interesting that you mentioned the fact that you can always go back to a game, not necessarily in the current season, but maybe 1 or 2 years back and kind of use that as motivation, can't you?
Oh, absolutely. We're going to do it for Northern. It's always a close game when we play them. It's been 1 point, 2 point. Like we've been in the game every single time against them. I think they got one big win over us last year for senior night. But like we pull from those prior experiences, even if it's not the same kid. It's like, hey, we're there. We've been in the game. Like, we got to do X, Y, and Z to make sure we're on the right side of this.
Do you feel that any rivalries are starting to build up involving Roosevelt in the GLIAC after about a year and a half in competition?
I'll probably say Parkside and Purdue Northwest for sure. So like Parkside got us twice last year. We got them twice this year. I love Jen as a coach. She's a great coach. They do some good things, but I think it's always fun. It's always a tough battle. Like both games, single-digit margins this year and last year. So we're right there. So I would say that a team I would love to have a rivalry with is Wayne State, just because it's like the tale of two cities, right? Detroit, Chicago. But we got to win. We got to win for it to be a rivalry, right? So they beat up on us a couple times here. So, but it's always a competitive game when we play them. So I would like that to form a little bit as well.
We've talked so often about the New Year's Day game being such a signature moment for the team in a way. The win with the last-second shot from Marie Outlay over Parkside. Those are the kind of games that can kind of plant a seed to a rivalry, can't they?
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, it's been like that. When we played them at their place last year, it was a close game. They ended up beating us, and they here last year close single-digit games. So when it's close and nail biter every single time, those are the fun games, you know. So I would love it for it to be an official rivalry or do something like, yeah.
Looking ahead now, getting closer and closer to the postseason. 2 games remaining, both on the road. Long way to travel here this coming weekend. So a little bit of a challenge in that regard. But looking ahead to the weekend, how do you see it playing out, or how do you see the games perhaps developing a little bit?
I'm excited. The girls are excited, especially for that Northern game. They beat us by 1 here. It was 83-82 last time we seen them. So they want to go back up there and compete. A lot of them haven't been to the UP, at least that part of the UP. We all went to Lake State, so they're excited to just wrap up the season together on the road. Both games should be extremely competitive with Tech and Northern, so we're excited.
Well, and there's nothing like playing meaningful games this late in the season, is there?
Absolutely. Like, we're playing for something. We're playing for seeding, right? We can still finish anywhere between 5 through 7. So these 2 games will help us in that way to be a 4-5 matchup, or 3-6 is huge, or 2-7, like, you know what I mean? So the games mean a little bit more at this point. They all mean something during the season, but right now we know exactly where we can finish if we win out.
It sounds like as well, you mentioned a few minutes ago that the team is pretty cranked up a little bit, looking forward to the trip.
Yeah, I mean, we're peaking at the right time. We're enjoying each other's company. They know there's 2 guaranteed weeks left of the season. Still in a unique situation, not like other teams where we know for a fact we can play in the conference championship and our season's over after that. We don't get a chance to go to the NCAA tournament. Doesn't matter if we win the league or not, just because it being our last year of probation. So the girls are excited for 2 more road trips and to spend this time together, because every year your team changes slightly. You want everyone to come back, but something happens. An assistant leaves, a GA graduates, a player graduates. So this is the last time for sure we have this group of girls together.
That's the kind of new thing about college athletics now. It's constantly in flux, isn't it?
Yeah, you never know what you have. You just got to enjoy it season by season, and hopefully, again, I have majority of my roster returning.
Looking ahead more specifically to the weekend, the 2 opponents, Northern Michigan and Michigan Tech, do you feel that there are any dramatic differences between the 2 teams? Do you feel they play a more similar style?
Very similar. I think Northern, they're 2 shooters. I would say they're just a little bit bigger than Tech's shooters, but they're both very similar motion. Both are literally getting 2 or 3 players the ball, and they're shooting a lot of shots. I tell the girls, no knock on anyone in the league. We're about to go see the best 3 shooters in the conference, with Ella Mason being on Tech and Sarah Newcomer and JC Weisbrot at Northern. So I think those are the best 3 shooters in the league. I mean, there's some really good shooters in the conference spread out, so I'm not throwing shade at anyone, but we get them back to back, so it's nice that we don't have to change the scout much.
Looking ahead a little bit, if I may, conference tournament, there's really nothing like that, is there, I think, in sports, outside of maybe the NCAA tournament, which you talked about a moment ago. But postseason in any sport, I think, is always the most fun part of the season. Do you feel that same way?
Absolutely. Like, everyone knows what it means. It's heightened. They know, like, it's win or go home. So the officiating's different. The intensity is different. You can feel it in the air. It's like, it's just a whole different environment. So it's a nice buzz. I wish we were in the 1 through 4 seeds, so it's at home, because that's always different when you have that home crowd advantage. But last year, our first year in the conference, we went to Ferris, and that was awesome. It was an awesome environment. We led for most of the game, and the last few minutes it slipped away from us. So that feeling, the girls, the returners know it, and they know what to expect. But a lot of people have never been there, done that, especially our D1 transfers. Everyone makes postseason. So it's nice at the lower levels that you have to earn it. It's not handed to you. So they're about to experience what that feels like for the first time.
You know, it's interesting as well about the postseason, and that is the fact that I've always looked upon it. Now, this is from a fan's point of view, that it's obviously more important, and there is much more at stake. But in the end, I've always looked at it from a fan point of view as being just go out and play the game. And in the end, it's the same game. 94 feet in the case of basketball, 5 players aside. You have to put the ball in the basket to win the game. But is there any way to really approach it as just another game when you're in the postseason?
I mean, yes and no. I feel like it is just another game. You got to play. But now I like to tell the girls, too many my bads to get you beat. Or before, you have a my bad because there's another game where you don't have to die for that loose ball. That loose ball might cost us your season right now. So the girls understand that when it gets to this point of the season. They understand every possession matters, every turnover, every shot, every missed layup matters. So there's just more to it. So I think that's the fun part. because you try to create pressure situations throughout the season where this is that pressure situation. Now you're living it out where you didn't do the one thing that we talked about, and we're going to see success, win or lose, because of it.
It's amazing when you get to this point in the season, maybe sometimes even in the regular season when you might have, a conference regular season championship to play for. Everything is so magnified, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Because you can go back to it. It's you get 5 players. If all of you guys take turns making mistakes, like, we're going to lose the game. But if we can lock in and be on the same page, or you make a mistake and we can all recover from it, like, then we'll be fine. But yeah, you can magnify it, especially when you start doing niche things at scout. Like, you missed an assignment, you missed too many assignments. That's the game. Like, we know why we lost this game now. It's not because of a missed shot. It was, we didn't die for loose balls. We missed this assignment. These were the keys to the games. We didn't live up to these keys. So everything's a little bit more magnified. But again, I think that's the fun part, because there's preseason, there's non-conference, there's conference, and there's postseason. And postseason is what we're all playing for. So this is it.
Yeah, I think we talked about a couple of weeks ago the phases of the season, and each has its own unique personality, and that certainly goes for the postseason.
Oh, absolutely. It's the most fun part of the season. I mean, the preseason, seeing what you got, making adjustments, and non-conference is awesome. Conference play is great because you get to see all familiar opponents twice, but now you get to go see your opponent for the third time. Whoever we play, this is going to be the third time we've seen it. Now we know each other front and back. Now it's who's going to be the best version of themselves in this game, and that's the most exciting part about it.
All right, well, 2 more games this weekend, then on to the postseason. So thanks for joining us again this weekend. Best of luck on the road, and then obviously in the postseason.
Thank you so much.